to the virtual Women in STEAM Week Gala, presented by Let's Go Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host and founder of Let's Go Full Steam Ahead, Sierra Marie Bond. Women in STEAM Week is an annual celebration held the third week in October and was created to honor the women throughout history who have paved the way for future innovators in the realms of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. This week was also created to empower the next generation of innovators. As the astronaut Sally Ride said, "You can't be what you can't see." So we're sharing STEAM stories to inspire the future innovators to see their own potential to thrive. This year, we're excited to take the celebrations global as we host a virtual gala to kick off the Women in STEAM Week festivities. In this virtual gala, you'll hear from speakers from across the country, sharing their STEAM education and engagement efforts, information on how to increase diversity and inclusion in STEAM fields, and highlighting women in their lives that they find inspirational. Follow along with our online playlist to stream each episode of this gala, anywhere, anytime. You can learn more about Let's Go Full Steam Ahead by visiting our website, letsgofullsteamahead.com. Now, let's meet this episode's featured speaker.
So hello, my name is Herra Hameedi, and I'm a pre-law student at Wichita State University studying biomedical engineering. A little bit about me first. I am currently working as a student lead technology analyst at WCU's Office of Commercialization and Technology Transfer. I used to be the vice president for the Society of Women Engineers Collegiate section we have on campus. And I also used to be an engineering senator for student government way back when I was a freshman. So I guess today I wanted to talk about and shed some light on some of the issues that international students and women of color are facing within the United States when trying to pursue a degree in STEAM. So to start off with some statistics, they were provided by the Society of Women Engineers National Section, and I believe they're as current as 2018. I'll also provide a link to them as well. So start off with the basics. 13% of engineers as of 2018 were women, and for every dollar a male engineer earned, a woman earned 90 cents. From 2012 to 2017, there was a 58% increase in bachelor degrees awarded to women in the fields of engineering and computer science. However, only 6.1% of those degrees were awarded to women of color. Now, these statistics might be surprising to you, but it's 2020 and they're not good enough. Only 6.1% of those bachelor's degrees were women of color. Now, I me being a woman of color myself, I know some of the barriers, and I've experienced some of those barriers that we may experience, but I do not know all of the barriers. I do have friends that have shared with me some of their experiences, and then Wichita State being the most diverse collegiate institution within the state of Kansas, we also just so happen to have a very large population of international students, most of these students being here on student visas. Now, if you're not familiar with how a student visa works, they allow you to come to the United States to study, but they also come with some work restrictions. Those restrictions being you can only work a total of 20 hours a week during the semester, and maybe a little bit more between semesters when classes are not in session. But these students do use their money that they get from these jobs to sustain themselves, not only just for like housing needs and stuff, but also for educational needs like lab fees, textbooks, all of that stuff. Now, another fact is that a lot of engineering institutions within the United States, when studying engineering, you're required to graduate with at least 2 semesters of internship or co-op experience. Now, this is a really big barrier for international students and women of color because of the fact that their student visas only allow them to work on campus. And if they do want to pursue working and doing a co-op with another company, these companies have to sponsor them. A lot of collegiate career fairs only have companies that are not willing to sponsor these students. And so that poses a really big problem because that's one of the only areas that they'll ever get exposure to companies. And so they're having to travel to bigger conferences just to get a chance at being sponsored and hired by other companies. So these conferences also have their own barriers associated with them. So when I was vice president, of the Society of Women Engineers. Me and my president tried to help curb some of these costs. We covered the registration fees, we reimbursed that, we covered housing, and all they had to pay for was like food and like printing out their own resumes and basically just bringing themselves. And through doing that, through them joining a professional organization and then allowing us to help them get to where they need to be, that made such a big difference for them because they were able to go to these bigger conferences. So the Society of Women Engineers Conference, I believe, is the second largest career fair in the world for engineers. I believe NSBE, the National Society for Black Engineers, is the first largest. But again, joining organizations just like the Society of Women Engineers helped them quite a bit. And the fact that these barriers even exist, I think universities need to do a lot better in terms of helping their international students and women of color get to where they need to be. They need to recognize that these barriers are in place, unfortunately, and they need to make collegiate career fairs on campus a lot more diverse so that their students have the opportunities to complete their degree path. So to kind of funnel this down and end, I wanted to quote Michelle Obama when she said, "Our glorious diversity, our diversity as the faiths and colors and creeds is not a threat to who we are. It makes us who we are." As Wichita State University, as being one of the most diverse institutions within the state of Kansas, I think we would do a disservice to all of our students if we did not invest more in helping our international student population and our women of color, especially trying to be one of the most innovative engineering institutions in the Midwest. Diversity within the workplace truly does increase the levels of innovation and talent. People need to understand that women and minorities are no less capable of bringing intellect and innovation to the field. The reason for the lack of participation, because that's usually an argument that a lot of people have when talking about the lack thereof participation of women within the fields of STEAM, is that these groups just don't want to. But no, it's actually societal and structural barriers that exist, that's why many of them aren't able to access all of these educational opportunities that would make them successful within the field of STEAM. So as we progress into 2021, I guess the one message that I would like to leave with you all is I would really hope to see a better push for intersectionality within the workplace, because again, your feminism is not feminism unless it's intersectional. And then also, please, if you're an international student or a woman of color, please join these professional organizations. They exist to help people like you and I to get to where we need to be. So there's SHEP, the Society for Hispanic Professional Engineers, the National Society for Black Engineers, the Society of Women Engineers, all of those good ones. There are definitely others, especially if some of them there's the Biomedical Engineering Society that are more specific to your degree path. But I definitely encourage everybody that is trying to pursue a field or a degree within the STEAM field to find one of those professional organizations, join them, make those connections, and see where it takes you, because it truly can help curb some of those barriers that exist. Again, I guess thank you for Sierra for having me talk and shed some light on some of these issues, and I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Virtual Women in STEAM Week Gala. Be sure to watch the other episodes in the playlist to view the full show. To learn how you can get involved with STEAM education and engagement efforts to empower the next generation of innovators, visit our website, letsgofullsteamahead.com.